Have you ever looked at your life and felt like something was deeply, fundamentally wrong? Not wrong in the way that things go badly sometimes, but wrong in the way that the whole story you were told about yourself might not even be true. That kind of wrong, that unsettling, quiet feeling that the life you are living was never really meant for you in the first place. That is exactly where this story begins. And let me tell you, once it grabs you, it does not let go. Imagine a young woman who grows up in a small, simple village. Nothing fancy, nothing extraordinary about her surroundings. She wakes up every day in a modest home, studies hard with whatever resources she has, and carries herself with a kind of quiet dignity that people in her world often overlook. On the outside, she looks like just another ordinary girl from an ordinary place. But here is the thing about truly extraordinary people. They never stay hidden for long. Then one day, everything she thought she knew about herself gets turned completely upside down. A DNA test, of all things, reveals a truth so massive that it changes the entire trajectory of her life in one single moment. She is not who she thought she was. She is, in fact, the biological daughter of one of the most powerful and wealthy families around. A family with influence, with money, with a name that carries weight everywhere it goes. And just like that, the girl who had nothing suddenly has a claim to everything. But here is where the story gets really interesting, and honestly, where it becomes something so much more than just another rags to riches tale. Because the seat that should have been hers, it was already taken. For years, another girl had been living the life that belonged to her, raised as the true heiress, pampered, protected, and positioned as the golden child of the family. And this fake heiress, she is not about to give that up without a fight. What follows is not just a rivalry, it is a full-scale war, and the weapons used in this war are not what you might expect. There are no dramatic physical confrontations, no shouting matches in the rain, no grand gestures of revenge in the traditional sense. Instead, what unfolds is something far more satisfying and far more intelligent. The real heiress decides to fight back the one way no one can cheat their way around. She uses her mind every single attempt to push her down. She rises higher. Every sabotage, every whisper campaign, every cruel trick designed to make her feel small and out of place, she answers not with anger but with results. When they try to humiliate her academically, she outperforms everyone in the room. When they try to make her feel like she does not belong in their world, she studies that world harder than anyone else and masters it on her own terms. When they assume she will fall apart because she did not grow up with privilege, she shows them that privilege was never what made someone exceptional in the first place, and this is what makes her character so deeply compelling. She is not perfect. She is not some superhero who breezes through every challenge without breaking a sweat. There are moments where you can feel the weight of everything pressing down on her. Moments where she is surrounded by people who do not want her there, in a house that carries her blood but not her memories, fighting for a place in a family that took years to even begin to accept her. Those moments are raw and real, and they make her victories feel that much more earned. The fake heiress, on the other hand, is a character you will love to despise. She was raised with every advantage, every comfort, every resource imaginable. And yet, when she is faced with genuine competition, when she is faced with someone who actually earned everything through sheer effort, she does not respond with grace. She responds with desperation, with scheming, with the kind of behavior that slowly reveals just how hollow everything she built actually was. Because when your entire identity is built on a lie and someone comes along who represents the truth, the only thing you know how to do is fight to keep that lie alive. The family dynamics in this story are layered in ways that keep you guessing. Not everyone is clearly on one side or the other. Some family members who initially reject the real heiress slowly begin to see who she truly is. Others dig deeper into their denial, and watching those relationships shift and evolve is one of the most emotionally engaging parts of the whole story, because family, even a complicated and deeply flawed one, still has the power to break you or build you in ways that nothing else can. What this drama does brilliantly is challenge a very common assumption. The assumption that wealth and status are what define a person's worth. The real heiress grew up without those things, and yet she arrives in a world built on them and quietly dismantles every argument against her simply by being undeniably, consistently excellent. She does not beg for acceptance. She does not plead for her rightful place. She earns it over and over again, until even the people who wanted her to fail cannot deny what is standing right in front of them. There is also something quietly powerful about the way this story handles intelligence as a form of strength. In so many dramas, the heroine is saved by love or luck or someone more powerful stepping in to rescue her. But here, the one thing that saves her every single time is herself. Her brain, her discipline, her ability to stay composed when everything around her is trying to make her fall apart. That kind of storytelling is rare, and when you find it, you hold on to it. By the time this story reaches its conclusion, you do not just feel entertained, you feel something deeper. You feel that quiet, warm sense of justice being done in the most satisfying way possible, not through cruelty or revenge in the ugly sense, but through truth eventually winning out over deception, through someone who deserved something finally getting exactly that, not because luck handed it to them, but because they refused to stop fighting for it. If you have not watched this one yet, clear your schedule, make yourself comfortable, because this is the kind of story that reminds you why we love a good underdog, not the kind who gets rescued, but the kind who looks at every obstacle, every person who underestimated them, every door that was slammed in their face, and decides quietly and with absolute certainty that none of it is going to stop them. That kind of story never gets old, and this one tells it beautifully.